Hey guys, welcome to another Sawdust Diaries. We got something really special today.
Dude, so you guys know we've been building tables and we've had an issue with our router sled. We had that homemade router sled that works great for small stuff, but tables, it is a no-go.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, so Dad got the Crafted Elements?
Crafted Elements, yeah.
Yeah, the Crafted Elements router sled, and I gotta say, I think the way we set it up is pretty ingenious.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see this anywhere else, the way we set it up, because we needed it. So on the Crafted Elements, sorry, we got wasps.
Dude, there's like a 4-inch wasp in here.
They're like huge.
Carry on, Dad, sorry.
So the way Crafted Elements, these router sleds set up, you can buy them for different sizes. I wanted one that we can do literally a 4-foot by 8-foot table. So I got the extenders, but you don't have to get those, but that's what I got because I just wanted it to be able to be expandable. I didn't want to cheap it and not be able to do as big a table as we need to do. So this thing's pretty cool. We've been working with it now for about a month, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. And we've made a couple little adjustments on it, and you guys will see how we kind of set up a special operation so that you can do really big tables with it.
Yeah. So so obviously that's our main table, and we can't have a router sled set up in this thing all the time. So we kind of devised this whole deal right here. So this is our little shelf on each side of the bench that that holds one of the rails. You got it, Dad?
Yep, I got it.
So what we did is we actually put inserts inside the bench on either side. So that way the inserts would actually line up perfectly with the holes.
Somewhere around there. Now these bolts will just go right into those inserts, and that really is the way we install it and uninstall it. And as we said, see, if you buy just the standard router sled, you will only get this piece. This is actually the extender on here that allows you to go longer on the length, so you can do a 4x8 sheet.
Right, and so one thing we weren't gonna do is we weren't gonna put it on these risers. So we have 2 3/4-inch risers that the rail itself is sitting on. But we wanted the option to be able to get something thicker in there. So we made the bottom riser a little bit longer, that way we had room for the screws or for the bolts on each one. Then we put another riser on top of that and then put the rails on there. And it was about a 6-hour setup for this whole thing.
And the thing about these are, actually Crafted Elements has a terrific over an hour YouTube video that shows you how to set these things up and align them so that everything works well. But the way we did this with the inserts, we don't have to have a table that's absolutely dedicated to just having this thing set up. We can't do that. So anyway.
That's the thing, is if you are limited on your room, how much room you have for stuff, you kind of got to get creative and figure out a way to multitask multiple different tables or whatever you got. And so far, this has turned out really good. All right, so now we have our rails set up, and we got them spaced perfectly even so that when we put our router sled on there, it just slides right on.
Does it go, can it go either way?
I think so. There we go.
There we go.
So once the rails are down, this thing just slides right on. That's what made it nice about using those inserts, because we know where it goes every single time. Yep. So when we're not filming, to set it up, it only takes 5 minutes, maybe. Yeah. Now, you're probably wondering, why is there PVC
what is that?
Hanging off of the router? Well, that's where my Okie dad comes into play. So Dad, go ahead, show them what's up.
I'll be happy to. So what we did when we were playing around with this thing, what we were doing when we were doing big tables before, we literally got up on the table and we were moving the router back and forth between the two of us. But the problem with that is that in order to have your hand on that router, what we were finding is that we were putting pressure, even though these rails are super strong, we were finding that we were tending to lean and actually put downward pressure on that router, literally by just pushing it back and forth. So we had to find a way that we could move that router back and forth without putting pressure on these rails, and this is what we came up with. So this could be done, you know, with just one handle, one person, but what we're planning, this is what we plan to do. And again, guys, I know it's oaky. We just got a piece of 1/2-inch PVC with some zip ties around there, around that router, and that is what's going to allow us to move that thing back and forth.
Now, guys, I understand this is as oaky rigged as it gets, but you got to get creative. Neither Dad and I'm only like 5'6". We'll go with that. And Dad's like 5'7", so it's not like either one of us can reach all the way across the table here. So I really think this is going to work.
And yeah, we haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, you guys are the first ones going to see.
But, to be honest, even if we were on step ladders and on, you know, something that would boost us up where we could reach, the problem with that is that if we're holding on to here or we're holding on to there, we've got one hand on the bench, and then we're actually still have downward pressure on that router. If we've got our hands here, and you can even see that it's, you know, deflecting a little bit, even though these rails are super strong. It has nothing to do with the design. It just has to do with the fact that it's a long reach across our table. So anyway, I think that this particular, you know, little oaky rig deal, I think is gonna work for us. Well, we're gonna find out, and so are you.
All right, well, you ready to give it a shot, Dan?
Let's do it.
All right, guys.
We're gonna set this thing up and get it set depth-wise, and then we're gonna run it and see how it works.
All right, guys, so our oaky rig system actually seemed to work pretty good.
It did. Yeah, I'm very happy with the way that. I might extend those handles out a little bit because we still had to lean over a little bit for a lot of passes, but all in all, it worked good. So, you know, when I think we were doing this kind of in unison. I was pulling
as I was pushing.
Yeah, but you weren't. When you're in the push position, you weren't going too much. It was more of a pull from one side.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and the sled itself, you guys, is incredibly well made. It's just super well made. As long as you have the rails lined up, I mean, this thing slides perfect. And like that video that Dad was talking about, really gave just great information on when you put everything together, if it binds up, how to fix it. It was a great video.
I'm really impressed with the quality of this. There are some other router sleds out there, but man, I think we bought I think this thing works perfect for what we want.
Yeah.
And it's definitely worth the money if you're doing very many projects like this. So our full endorsement of Crafted Elements. And we bought stuff from Crafted Elements, you know, when Vicki was doing a lot of her resin projects. We bought some molds from them several years ago. But this thing is it's super cool, and it's again very quality made. And the video on how to put the whole thing together and how to set it up. It was our idea to put the inserts so that the rails were removable, but there's other ways you can do it as well.
This is actually something that Dad came up with. This basically is where the center of the router bit is, because even though it's a clear plate, you can't see it really the way ours is. So we just put a mark right where the center of the router bit is. That way, as you're going back and forth, you can see where you're cutting.
Yeah, the thing that I've learned over the years is not, even though this is an 1.5 inch cutting, you only want to take like half a bite at a time. If you try and use the whole 1.5 inch or 2 inch, whatever it is, I can't remember if this might be 2 inch.
I think it's 2 inch.
Yeah. You don't want to take the whole 2 inches in one pass. I would just do it half and half, so like 1 inch at a time. That way you're not bogging the router down, and you're getting a much smoother transition from one cut to the next.
Yeah.
So even though you can see those little lines in there, that's pretty smooth. That's very sandable, even though we'll probably make another pass on this. But anyway, yeah, this Crafted Elements sled, 100%. I love it. It's working out great for us. One more thing I wanted to mention, guys, is they actually have a system set up with this that you can put around that base that makes it mostly dust-free. So it's a dust collection. We don't have that set up, but that may be something that we do.
Yeah, it might. We're making a heck of a mess.
Because it really is pretty simple, and you'll see that on the video from Crafted Elements.
Yeah, so if you guys are looking for a router sled, this thing is top stinking notch. And the bit you use, our Omana flattening bit or surfacing bit,
it's beautiful.
The best.
It's
so
yeah.
I'll leave a link for that in the description. But yeah, guys, this thing's pretty awesome, and we're definitely putting it to use.
Yep. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying these Sawdust Diaries. We're having a blast filming them. We've got some really cool things coming up, so stay tuned. Big projects. Actually, this is a table that we're going to be making real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to air. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Thanks for watching, guys. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.